Hi, I'm Rob McClure.
And I'm Bryn O'Malley.
And you're watching the Broadway.com show. Ba-da-da-da-da. That was McDonald's. You can't use that.
Welcome to the Broadway.com show, your guide to everything on stage, or as we like to think of it, the society to stop John Travolta from manhandling Tony winners. Let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Paul?
Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda's new hip-hop history lesson, is headed to Broadway. The new musical, currently a sold-out smash through May at the Public Theater, will start performances at the Richard Rodgers Theater in July. In the Heights Tony winner Miranda wrote the book, music, and lyrics for the show, in which he also plays founding father Alexander Hamilton. So, if you've been dying to see the show and can't get your hands on a ticket, all it'll take is paciencia y fe. It won't be long now.
The California Gold Rush is heating up New York City this March. Keith Carradine, Alexandra Socha, and Wicked alums Jenny Barber and Justin Guarini are leading the Encore's revival of Lerner and Lowe's Paint Your Wagon from March 18th through March 22nd at New York City Center. With songs like They Call the Wind Mariah and Hand Me Down That Can of Beans, this musical comedy is a fun 50s throwback we cannot wait to see live.
Broadway's Finding Neverland composer Gary Barlow is a busy man. He's revealed The Tuna, produced by Hollywood heavyweight Harvey Weinstein, is aiming to make its West End bow next year. Barlow is also working with Weinstein on a new adaptation of the classic novel Around the World in 80 Days. Recent West End Grisabella Nicole Scherzinger is on board during the show's early developmental stages. We're keeping a close eye on this one.
It's the romantic reunion your parents and starry-eyed saps like us have been waiting for 45 years. Oscar nominees Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal, who co-starred in the 1970 film Love Story, will headline the upcoming national tour of A.R. Gurney's Love Letters. Following director Gregory Mosher's recent star-studded Broadway revival, the tour will launch this summer and make its way to cities all across the country. We think you should prepare for this lovey-dovey event by watching Love Story, buying Kleenex in bulk, and making festive Love Means Never Having to Say You're Sorry t-shirts.
Two Broadway favorites landed TV pilots this week. In CBS's Supergirl, Tony winner Laura Benanti will play a mom who does what moms do: send her daughter to Earth to avoid annihilation. Meanwhile, if you've always dreamed of seeing Skylar Astin do an amazing jump shot, keep dreaming. The Pitch Perfect star will take on the role of a non-athletic teaching assistant in ABC's still untitled basketball-themed show. Good luck with your pilots, guys.
Hey, I'm Michael Arden, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Based on the looks of it, Something Rotten will be a show that every member of its Broadway cast will be proud to have in their bio. But at a recent press event for the new musical, we asked the team to reveal something rotten from their past they keep off their resumes. Here's how it went.
There are a couple things, maybe things that I've had to wear at certain points a wedding dress in that I don't necessarily put on my resume anymore.
I would have to say Saturday Night Fever was not my finest moment. Imperfect chemistry. It was
Were you terrible?
I was as same performance I've been giving for the last 35 years. Just mediocre, vague neediness.
I once was a wooden toy soldier welcoming committee for a pharmaceutical party in New Jersey.
I don't want to say it was rotten because they're in the process of reworking it. I'll be fascinated to see what the First Wives Club does because I was a part of that in San Diego. And you know when you're doing a show that's not working. We knew in San Diego that wasn't the answer.
How about this? I'll say my least favorite job that I ever did. Will I ever work with any of these people? I did a tour of Jekyll and Hyde. That's all I want to say about that. Not my favorite job in the world, not my favorite show in the world, but a lot of really hardworking artists put something together, and that I respect.
This week, we're giving a golden thumbs up to this year's Oscar telecast for celebrating the spirit and alums of Broadway. We were very happy to see the very main STEM-centric Birdman win Best Picture, and Tony winner Eddie Redmayne and stage alum Julianne Moore take the top acting honors for their roles in The Theory of Everything and Still Alice, respectively. Also, seeing the Broadway-bound Jennifer Hudson bring everybody to tears with her performance of I Can't Let Go from Smash, and Lady Gaga hush all of her naysayers with her crazy good Sound of Music medley, were just cherries on top of this Great White Way loving Sunday. We give you a standing ovation.
There were lots of great homages to theater at this year's Academy Awards, but after last year's impromptu pizza party, surprise selfie, and of course the whole Adele Dazeem incident, we've got to give a thumbs down to the ceremony. All in all, we've got to admit the night was pretty dull, and viewers agreed. It had the lowest ratings in 7 years. Sorry, Oscars. Even with Neil Patrick Harris, you just don't hold a candle to our Tony Awards. You didn't even have a rap at the end.
Smackdown time. Last week we asked you which last 5 years recording you're more partial to. The classic 2002 off-Broadway cast recording with Norbert Leo Butz and Sherry Renee Scott, or the new movie soundtrack starring Jeremy Jordan and Anna Kendrick. Well, the results are in, and 64% of you picked the off-Broadway album and 36% the films. Now, with Glee ending, 2 of its stars are returning to where they belong this spring, the Great White Way. Broadway.com Audience Choice Award winner Darren Criss will be donning Hedwig's wig and heels, while Matthew Morrison will be flying second to the right and then straight on till morning in Finding Neverland. So we want to know, who are you more excited to see back on the main stem? Tweet your vote of Darren Criss or Matthew Morrison to @BroadwayCon with the hashtag #BWaySmackdown and tune in next time for the winner.
This week we're cheering on the strength and bravery of Krysta Rodriguez, who just revealed she has breast cancer. The Smash and First Aid actress shared her diagnosis with her usual bright attitude and then unveiled her truly awesome new fashion vlog, Chemo Couture, which can be found at KrystaCouture.com. We've always been on Team Krysta. K-Rod's a Broadway.com Audience Choice Award winner, a former Broadway.com vlogger, and was named one of Broadway.com's most clicked stars of 2013. And now, we're crowning her Star of the Week. Krysta, all of us at Broadway.com join you in telling cancer to suck it.
Our tweet of the week comes from Fish in the Dark player Jake Cannavale, who, like the rest of us here in New York City, is doing his best to bundle up and stay warm during this record-breaking and painfully frigid weather. He tweeted, "On cold days like these, I really wish my parents let me keep my foreskin." Jake, we're happy you're opening up to us and circumcision jokes are funny and all, but there is a cutoff point. That's just a tip for you. You can follow this Broadway debuter at The Reverend J.
Hey, I'm Christopher Jackson. You are watching the Broadway.com show.
George Takei took a trip to Hawaii with a visit to Broadway's Honeymoon in Vegas and, oh my, got laid along the way. Here's a backstage hotshot of the Star Trek icon with show stars Rob McClure, Tony Danza, and Bryn O'Malley. And here's some good news. We'll be seeing a lot of Takei this year. He'll make his Broadway debut in the musical Allegiance this fall.
This week, we had Darren Criss on the brain, and before he takes the stage in Heels and a Wig and Hedwig and the Angry Inch this spring, we teamed up with Culturalist.com to rank your favorite gender-bending Broadway roles. Naturally, I ranked Hedwig as my top pick. Let's see what you guys chose. Peter in Peter Pan, the Dice Quits in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Miss Trunchbull in Matilda, Frankenfurter in The Rocky Horror Show, Yitzhak in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Edna Turnblad in Hairspray, Lola in Kinky Boots, MC in Cabaret, Angel in Rent, Hedwig in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Yep, we've said it before and we'll say it again, Miss Hedwig is freaking unstoppable. Tune in next week for another Culturalist Challenge.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Broadway.com show. We leave you with a sneak peek of new musical comedy It Should Have Been You, which will open on the Great White Way this spring. Here is Broadway.com Audience Choice Award winner Sierra Boggess and Lisa Howard performing Perfect. See you next time.
You